Hi, welcome to Valley Flowers. Let's get growing together. My name is Suzanne and I thought today we could make a succulent container together. So we have a succulent bowl, we have succulents in hypertufa, and also in unique and different containers like a shoe or a pot with an owl. I love the owl because it just signifies to me it's fantastic for graduates or people graduating. And I just picture that as the cap on somebody's head. So it's a fantastic gift for that. But I love the succulents because they grow in almost any condition as long as you don't water them too much. So keep them on the dry side and you should have success. So we have a metal container. It's pretty much any container that you think is interesting and fun, and then you can create a masterpiece and something that everybody's going to talk about. So I thought today we would plant a purse. So these are fantastic for Mother's Day or a birthday. And all you do is choose your succulents that you would like to put in there. And I'll open up the purse and place it in just like pocket change. And I already have some soil at the base, so then you can just add your succulents in and just add a little bit of soil in between the succulents, and then that should give you just enough soil for the roots to expand out. And like I said, keep it on the dry side, and that will also make the roots expand and want to go for water. So I'll clean up the succulent, take off any leaves that might be brown, and then dig a hole and put your succulents in. And these are a little bit more mass succulents, so they're more of a round ball. But you could, I took some sedum cuttings, and this is Angelonia sedum, and that is a great succulent that you can just, it'll start to root from the side pieces, and you could just tuck that in there and make sure it makes connection with the soil. And when you water this in, they'll start to form roots. So you just tuck that in, and then this Angelonia sedum will start cascading over. You could put another piece on the other side, and it will give you just a little bit of extra color. So you have like the rosy color of the echeverias, and then the sedum is a little bit more yellow. So adding color and texture in your array. Oh no, sometimes this happens when you're planting. It might break off, so just kind of go with it. This is the flower from the sedum, but just pinch that off, and you can actually make little cuttings from this. They'll start to root, and all you need to do is put them on the top of the soil and pinch them in, and they will start to root. You just need to keep them a little bit moist so the roots start to form. They'll callus over first, and then the roots will come down. So you can see how cute this little succulent purse is, and it's just such a great gift for somebody, especially for their birthday. And then we have a bigger succulent bowl. I thought I'd show you how to plant that. And the most important thing is to dig a hole in your soil and place the plants. So just clean up your succulents a little bit. And I am choosing plants that accent each other on the sides. This one is cool, it's got a flower. I'll try to be more careful with this one and not break off the top. So that's kind of cool how it's coming up like that. I'm gonna face that toward the center a bit. And then put another one in the center here. So I'm filling up my space. You can leave a little bit of space in between the plants, and then they'll start to grow and fill out. But with succulents, you can also put them a little bit closer and they still will thrive. One of the things I like about succulents is they don't need as much nutrients as a house plant or a plant that you're planting in your garden, an annual, petunias or marigolds. They take a lot more nutrients. I'm just cleaning this up a little bit. This is a sempervirens, or a hens and chick. So this one is actually hardy for outdoors, and you could take this out and plant it outdoors afterward. But for now, I'm going to use it as an indoor plant. I'll put this in my living room. It's indirect light, but it still gets some light, and that will work really well as the center of my coffee table or the center of my dining room table, and it will just grow nicely. If I do feel like maybe the succulents need a little bit of nutrients, I sometimes use a slow release fertilizer, Classic Coat or Osmocote, and that just sprinkles on top, and that gives a little bit more nutrients as they start to grow and may need a little bit more nutrients to thrive. If you feel like the plants need a little bit more sun, you can always move it to a sunnier location or rotate the container a little bit. But how cute is this? The center of your table, or as you walk in, a little purse, and it's so conversational. You have people over for dinner and they see this, and it's just fun to talk about, or how you planted it or where you got it. And also the shoe, I just love that. I also did one in a coffee filter container, and an old coffee pot, and then a sifter, and so there's a lot of different things you can use. I also saw a ladle with a succulent. There are so many fun containers, and you can get really creative with the succulents. So this is a succulent bowl. We have hypertufa pots. I love the hypertufa because it's a lightweight concrete container and made out of peat moss, perlite, and Portland cement. We teach classes on those too, but it keeps it on the drier side, so the succulents thrive in those containers. And then you can see we have a log, a faux log with a little bit of cascader, and then the echeverias. And then you have a metal container with a couple echeverias. This one has some sedum in there, the Ogden sedum and the sempervirens. So you have some hardy plants as well as the echeverias, and the sempervirens will be the one that will be outside. So I hope you enjoyed the succulent bowls today, and all about succulents and unique containers. And I hope you join us again. Have a great day.